This is the time when you are being complacent with your faith, Brother Steve, Brother Ken. When you think that everybody is right and what you are doing haphazardly is you think is right. No, it is not. Remember that Father Yahweh said, love me with all of your heart. Brother Ken, I'm glad Sister Deborah is not here. Otherwise, she might going to, see you when I see you. Because we cannot love our Father Yahweh with thinking about our wife. I admit that my wife is hot and sizzling, Brother Ken. But I need to love Father Yah 100%. And you as well, with my wife and everybody, all of us. Now is the time. Is it what Apostle Saul said? Now is the time to awake out of our sleep. Think, Brother David. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. Mind you, these words were penned by Apostle Saul almost 2,000 years ago, Brother Steve. And still true today. If it is close during their time, it is closer in our time, Brother Steve. Brother David, it is closer in our time. So when you hear this word, Father Yahweh is calling you, my brothers and sisters, now is the time. And since you hear this word in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 16, here's what it says. Ephesians, before we go chapter 5, let us go first in chapter 2. And we'll go back a little bit lower. Ephesians chapter 2, verse 2. This is what it says. Wherein in time past, before Father Yah, before we decided to follow Father Yah, before we decided to follow the footstep of our Rabbi Yeshua, in time past, we walk according to the course of this world, isn't it? Yes. We live like the Joneses next on the street. We live like young and restless, Brother Wes. But Apostle Saul said that was the past. According to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now worked in the children of disobedience, that was we before we knew Father Yah. But now, in chapter 5, verse 16, this is what he's saying now. Father Yah is giving us the chance to what? Chapter 5, verse 16, this is what he says. Redeeming the time, Brother Steve. No matter how many years we got lost in our way, Father Yah, through the mercy of our Rabbi Yeshua HaMashiach, he says, I'm giving you time, Brother Steve, Brother John. Redeeming the time because the days of evil are coming. If you think the world is going to get better, no, it's not. Sorry to tell you that if the world today is evil, worse is coming. That's why we need to be mindful and be watchful and be awake in our faith. And 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 3. In 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 3, this is what Apostle Saul to his writings, to his one of his student and disciple, Timothy. This is what Saul said. 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 3, and this is a warning to us all. He says, for the time will come, each and every one of us, that we will not endure sound doctrine. The words I'm telling you right now, some of us might go and say, don't worry about Brother Roland. He just loves to talk. And by the way, he is Asian. But I'm good-looking Asian, isn't it, Brother Steve? It says, for the time will come that they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lust shall they heap to themselves teachers having itching ears. You know, every time I hear this word of Apostle Saul, I keep on remembering what my wife said to one of her co-teachers. You know, one of my wife co-teacher is a traditional Baptist in the beginning. You know, being a traditional Baptist, my wife said they don't like the way how the preaching goes. You know what they did? They goes to what they call the modern Baptist. Because a modern Baptist is, you know, a little bit lenient as the word in the wordings and following teachings of Father Yah. Seventeen. That the judgment those who know the will of the Father, who try to do in everything in their power to follow His will, scarcely get in. How much more to those who don't care about the Word and all they care about this life?
Right.
That's why our rabbi said, the way of life is narrow, and only few will find it. The road is wide and broad, Brother Steve, and many will go through it. Remember, during the flood, 8 souls were saved. Remember Sodom and Gomorrah, the 2 cities. Only 4, and then it becomes 3. You know, when Saul knows that he is going to die, this is what Saul said to Timothy. And I pray that we can say the same thing. In 2 Timothy chapter 4, I don't know if I tell this to my wife, that if I'm going to die, I pray that somebody will read this for me as I'm trying to do the will of the Father. 2 Timothy chapter 4. Saul said to Timothy in verse 6, "For I am now ready to be offered up, and the time of my departure, of my death, is at hand." And Saul said, "I have fought a good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith." We pray that we can say the same thing before we close our eyes, Brother John. Brother Steve, there's no Brother John here. Keep on. Brother Johnny, should I say. And then in Romans chapter 8, verse 18, this is what Apostle Saul also said. As he suffers a lot with his being a servant